Welcome back to the Best Dominion Cards list 2016. We're in part 21, still in the cards costing 5. Rank 77, Mystic. Having a lead of 3.3 percentage points over Grave Robber, Mystic is next on the list, losing 3 ranks. It is 3 ranks higher in the unweighted ranking. Yeah, Mystic gives more money than a Peddler but doesn't draw, and this is often just weaker. Because unless you, of course, know what's the top card of the deck is, Mystic is not that great. Um, so you either need a very thin deck with a lot of Mystics, so that your Mystic can just name Mystic and be quite guaranteed to hit, or best is probably a weak, and not a weak, a cheap um, card that can name you the top card of the deck, like a Vagrant is pretty good, or maybe a Pearl Diver, but also Wandering Minstrel works well for even multiple Mystics. So this can work really well with Mystic to name the top card of the deck. Then Mystic is amazing, but otherwise Mystic just doesn't draw, and then it's just weaker than Peddler in most cases because it doesn't draw. Rank 76 Emporium. Emporium is the worst of the 13 new entries in this list, the second worst Peddler variant. It is 3 ranks higher in the unweighted ranking. So 2 extra points, a Peddler that is worth 2 points is pretty good, but the problem is though that you have to go through all the patricians to get there, and that is often not worth it just to get the extra points, unless you have extra buys and can get them pretty easily. So this makes Emporium pretty weak, in my opinion. I'm not sure what to say else about it, unless it's just pretty straightforward. A Peddler with worth 2 points most of the time, um, which is a solid card. Don't get me wrong, but the other Peddler variants are just stronger in most cases. Rank 75 Windfall. Windfall is the second new Empires card in a row and has only a lead of 0.04 percentage points over Emporium. Windfall is 4 ranks lower in the unweighted ranking and has even a worse median. It was voted twice and has the highest deviation in this list so far. I think Windfall should be ranked higher because it's way better than Treasure Map in most cases, and pretty amazing whenever you're trash down. You don't have to worry about payload, you only need to keep 5 coins somehow. Um, so trash down as fast as you can, get a silver maybe, and then you have 5 and have a thin deck with 3 golds, which enables you to build whatever deck you want. You can either just get a few more money cards and just green if it's a weak board, or build a strong engine out of it with a lot of good payload. So Windfall is, I think, an amazing way to get to add payload to your deck. It's pretty good for engines as well, because 3 goals is exactly what you mostly want in an engine, and no other treasures. This is mostly your deck can handle, and pretty good payload to get. Um, of course, it's pretty edge casey, so it needs trashing, and you have to draw your deck without being your discard pile having any cards in it. So I can see that way that it's ranked low, because it's rare cases are that you can get this effect, but if you can trigger it, it's pretty amazing. Rank 74 Cartographer. Cartographer is a big loser in this list. It loses 17 ranks and nearly 13 percentage points, and is therefore lower than ever before. It is still 6 ranks higher in the unweighted ranking. Yeah, Cartographer is a pretty solid card. I don't know why it lost 17 ranks. It's one of those cases where I don't understand why it suddenly drops so many ranks. I mean, trashing is often better, and the last couple expansions helped trashing a lot. And getting to a thin deck, then you don't need a cartographer. So the decks that you build where Cartographer is good are rare, but Cartographer is still better than a lab in a sloggy game with cursing or so, where you have some good cards but very few of them. Cartographer helps you drawing those good cards and is way better than a lab in those decks. So it has still some decks where it really shines. Can trigger Tunnel, for example, as well. And I mean, now that Forum is out, Forum is just way better than Cartographer in most cases, because it draws you those few cards in a sloggy deck as well, and you can get the good cards mostly a turn earlier, so it's mostly gets the good cards right away, while Cartographer mostly only top decks the good card. So Forum is just way better than Cartographer. In that view, Cartographer looks pretty weak. But still, it's a solid card, and I could see it still 10 ranks higher. Let me know what you think. Rank 73, Ball. Ball lost quite a bit as well, 5 ranks. It was voted last once, and is 3 more ranks lower in the unweighted ranking. Ball is kind of hard to rank. Normally you want 5 costs, you don't want 4 costs. But on a board with no 5 costs, Ball is pretty amazing. It's you don't need plus buy and can get 2 good cards. But it of course really depends on the board, what cards are on there. If you really want 2 fours, it's pretty good in getting, for example, 2 villagers. Somehow works like a port in that case. But when Ball really shines is with cost reducer, so if you have a bridge in play or a highway in play and still get to 5, you can get even 2 5 costs. Then it really shines, and you have to really look out for cost reducing with Ball. Then this really shines. So all in all, still a useful event on the right board at least. Rank 72, Giant. Giant is another loser, 10 ranks and nearly 8 percentage points. It is 2 ranks higher in the unweighted ranking. Here the cases where Giant really works are rare. You kind of need to either play it often, so you get 2 or 3 giants and play, so that you can play one each turn, so that the attack really hurts. So if you if it's either, for example, your opponent has a really thin deck, so that trashing one of their cards really hurts, or is no way to get rid of curses, for example, or something, then it really hurts. Or it's a sloggy game and hitting province a few times when you do the game, then getting 5 coins every second play is pretty good in hitting province. So yeah, the use cases I think are pretty rare. It usually is not that strong because it only attacks every second play, and giving 3 coins each turn is, I think, would be better than just 1 coin and 5 coins the other turn. It would help you getting like 5 costs way better than this way. So this gets you either like a 3 cost and a province when you play it, which is mostly worse than getting 2 5 costs. So this way I think Giant is not really a great card. I think it could rank even lower. I can't see it being higher than Cartographer, for example, but yeah. Some simulations show that Giant is a pretty good big money enabler. I doubt it. In some edge cases, it might be good, or against rebuild. It can be pretty devastating if you trash your opponent's rebuild or duchy, but you have to kind of get lucky, and I'm not sure if it's really worth it. Rank 71, Seaway. Seaway is the first card in a long while that went up a few ranks, 2 to be exact, but it is 4 ranks lower in the unweighted ranking. Yeah, Seaway is an event when you want a 4-cost card anyway, you then have 5. Of course you buy Seaway because those plus buy giving an extra plus buy doesn't hurt. No, it's often really good. Especially if Seaway is the only plus buy, then you have to build your deck around it to get to at least 5 once when you want 4 costs. But it's never really a game changer. I mean, you have to go for it if it's the only plus buy often and you want to build an engine. But I don't think it's a very strong event, as multiple plus buys only help you maybe to free pile, and rarely you need a lot of buys, so you can uh, pick up Seaway when you have 5 and want to forecast anyway, but it's rarely a game changer. Rank 70 Library. Library lost 3 ranks and is basically on the same rank as 2 years ago. It is 1 rare rank lower in the unweighted ranking. Yeah, whenever you want draw, you mostly want it in an engine, and then library is just weaker than smithy because it's kind of hard to build a draw engine with library. You kind of need disappearing villages, or I mean villages that don't draw, and then you play all the villages, all the terminals, and then play library to draw up again. Then it's amazing, of course. But usually it's just easier to build a draw engine with Smithy, and it's cheaper. Library really shines when you go for a big money deck and you have like 5/2 opening, and especially if your opponent wants to attack you to discard attack you, then it even helps you when you have a library in hand, and then basically a library can guarantee you province most of the time whenever you get attacked and draw up to 7. Skipping all the action cards really helps as well. You can load up on multiple libraries and don't worry about drawing them dead. So yeah, it's pretty decent in big money draw, and shines in draw up to X engines. So like especially if the villages you have don't draw and give multiple actions like a coin of the realm or especially fishing village. Rank 69 Market. Market is the 3rd worst peddler variant and lost quite a bit, 6 ranks and around 6 percentage points. It is 5 ranks higher in the unweighted ranking. Yeah, Market is a simple card. Beginners name it the card that does like everything, and but it's just a peddler that gives a buy. So usually you want the Market if it's the only plus buy, because a non-terminal plus buy, even a cantrip plus buy, is really strong in engines, because you can't afford mostly to play terminals to get the plus buy. In that way, it's amazing. The +1 coin is mostly irrelevant. You would pick up Market when you want a Market Square in the same vein. But also you pick it, of course, up when mostly over silver, because it's a peddler is mostly better than a silver. But it's never amazing. The plus buy is of course relevant, but multiple markets, of course, then are not really making a change than like 2 markets and peddlers, because you probably don't need as many buys. So those were the next 9 cards. Oh, as you can see, there are already some really decent cards in there in the list that you could have seen, maybe wanted to see higher, but this list has a lot of good cards in it, and yeah, starting with the next part or the following one, I would say there are already really good cards coming up. See you soon for the next part. Bye.